your makeup isn't lasting because you're only using one powder to set your face. Let me show you my signature 3 powder technique for flawless looking makeup that'll actually last all day. I always set with a pressed powder first. And the way that you're gonna pick the shade of under eye powder to use for your pressed powder is it should match the concealer under your eyes more or less. It is okay if it's slightly brighter, but not too much brighter. As you can see, this more or less matches my under eye. This is the Kosas Cloud Set powder in the shade Pillowy. Now, to apply this, you can use a powder puff or a brush. Today, I'm going to be using a brush. This is the Morphe M164 powder brush. If you're using a brush, make sure it's a tapered shape like this. And I'm going to load my brush up with powder. And we're not going to go in and immediately set it. Do you see the creases that have formed? We don't want to set that into place. So you're going to take any handheld mirror or compact mirror and look up into it and blend these creases out. By now, you should have already loaded up your powder brush as well. So take your powder brush and without looking down, then you're going to set your under eye. This is one of my key tips for setting the under eye to help prevent creasing. It really confuses me when I see y'all do your makeup and you don't set your foundation. I genuinely, I see people just set under their eyes and I'm like, what's going on, guys? Next, you're gonna wanna use a powder foundation. One of my favorites of all time is the One Size Turn Up the Base powder foundation. Mine is in the shade 2G. And for your powder foundation, you want this one to match your skin tone or the shade of your foundation. These ones tend to pull a little bit lighter in the pan, which I know can be tricky, but trust, it's the same shade as my foundation. I'm using the Morphe M162 brush, and I'm using my One Size powder to set my base into place. If you have oily skin, you want to go in heavier with this, but if you have dry skin, you can definitely get away with a light dusting over your foundation, just so that it doesn't move. Next, we're gonna set with our loose setting powder. Today, I'm using the One Size setting powder in the shade Rich Peach. If you need help with deciding which shade of loose powder to use, make sure you view my loose powder shade guide. For this step, I like to use a powder puff, and using both a pressed and a loose powder are crucial for having a long-lasting, flawless, crease-proof under eye. I have oily skin, like I said, so I'm going to bake. I personally would recommend everybody to bake. I think it gives the optimal results, but if your skin is too dry to handle baking, you can use less product and just press it into the skin. I'm also going to bake any of the areas that I tend to get oily, that's above my lip and on my chin, and then also the center of my forehead. The reason I baked along the sides of my nose like this is to give me kind of that reverse contour effect. So when I sweep the powder off, it looks like it's already been contoured basically. After letting your setting powder sit for 2 to 5 minutes, I usually like to apply my powder bronzer. Then you're going to take the same powder puff you used to apply it and press the powder into the skin. Then I'm going to take my tapered powder brush and then I'm going to sweep away any excess powder that wasn't able to be pressed into the skin. And now you have a flawless base that'll actually last you all day.